The Pokemon Legends Arceus release date is earlier than anyone could have ever expected, and it's super crazy because it carries a lot of implications. Now for this video, I'm primarily going to be focusing on what this means for VGC 2022 and the future of competitive Pokemon, because now everything is all weird. Is Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl going to be the main competitive Pokemon game going into 2022, or did Pokemon Legends Arceus squeak in just early enough to maybe be where we're going to be hosting competitive battles, that this is where all of the work is going to be going into the future of Pokemon, because that seems like a really rushed release date, and I think that's another implication that is a very strong weakness for Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is a very hard to defend release date for even the most defensive of Pokemon Legends fans, because from what we've seen, the game is not going to be ready in a year. That it's laggy, it's empty, it doesn't have, like, it just does not look finished, and a year is not enough time to get it there. Now, even if we were looking at early 2022 and thinking technically May, that's a better amount of time, but I have no idea what this means. Like, this is a really bad sign for Pokemon Legends. However, this is where I think it might go even a step further. That now we're opening up a May 2022 release for some kind of other spin-off Pokemon game, maybe June or something like that. So what if we get a new Pokemon Stadium or a Pokemon Battle Revolution 2 because Pokemon Legends is coming out super early, and then that opens up into whatever other VGC things are going on with just Pokemon Sword and Shield being an extended temporary format. And like I said, we still have a lot to break down in this video, so I kind of gave away like half of it already, but we still have a deep dive to go into. Now when it comes to a Pokemon game after Pokemon Legends, we could be getting that announcement in the next 2 weeks for E3, so not going to go super into that until we get our E3 information. So now, let's take a current look at what Pokemon VGC is up to, and then kind of compare it to the past to see what could happen in the future. So honestly, I think a lot of people, they're going to blame COVID and be like, oh, we're behind because of COVID and all of this other stuff. But honestly, I don't think COVID has affected the actual formats of VGC really at all, because we're doing the Players' Cup. We're having these global tournaments that actually have pretty decent prize support on the regular that are effectively replacing national and world's levels events. So with that happening, it's like, yeah, it's still being supported enough, and we are progressing through the series. So we've had series 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 throughout Pokemon Sword and Shield with the DLC, and right now, these are the current Pokemon rules. So the rules are being updated. It's not like COVID happened, in-person VGC tournaments were canceled, and then everything halted. No, we're still progressing through. So Series 8 is actually allowing a soft GS Cup. So a GS Cup is usually like the signal for the end of a generation or major VGC format, or like major game kind of format. And then it usually goes regional decks, national decks, GS Cup, good luck, have fun, see you guys for the next Pokemon games. Has been kind of weird with Pokemon Sword and Shield, but it went natural decks, expanded decks because of the DLC, and then now we're having these extra series that are constantly changing it from almost tournament to tournament, or at least major tournament to major tournament, but there's still more than enough time to go. Series 10, GS Cup rules, that's it, end of Pokemon Sword and Shield, and maybe, depending on even the state of COVID, squeeze in some kind of in-person world-ish event before we actually go fully into VGC 2022, or at least wrap up Pokemon Sword and Shield, then have VGC make an official return. So this weird trend with Pokemon Sword and Shield with the series started back in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, where we had different series that had different restrictions, but it all culminated into GS Cup rules, everything's allowed, everything gets to go crazy after a little bit of a build-up. So yeah, you know, players may include 2 of the following Pokemon on their teams, and then depending on where you were, Ultra Series, everything, all moves, items obtainable through normal gameplay are permitted. But wait, that says 2018. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out in 2018, and it's objectively a main series Pokemon game as stated by developers, and it even has a competitive arena that's supported through multiplayer and online. Yet it didn't happen. This is also where things kind of get weird, because when you think about it, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, there was a year with no main series Pokemon game between Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire and Pokemon Sun and Moon, and then we had the GS Cup the year before Pokemon Sun and Moon, or the VGC year, which was 2016. That's when Wolfglake cheated, all of that fun stuff. So Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire had a full year of GS Cup to spice things up, and then for Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, we had multiple mini-series, and that just kind of like kept it going, even though there was another main series game going on with Pokemon Let's Go. And now Pokemon Sword and Shield, this is also getting a lot of extension through DLC and series, but I don't see how we could play Pokemon Sword and Shield through all of 2022, and that's why what's going on with Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl gets a bit more interesting, because Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl looks great as a competitive game. Like, if these were the battles and you have this in like the online hub, the Pokemon look amazing, the moves look amazing, it beats out X and Y, it beats out Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon Sword and Shield to a degree, because like the arena, that had its own thing going on. So yeah, like, you could host VGC 2022 on Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, no problems. It just kind of feels weird at this point because of the art style. Now, I need to make the big disclaimer, I have no problem with the art style. I love this 3D, 2D remastery kind of feel that they're going for, even though a lot of people hate it. I think this is one of the best directions that Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl could have been taken, because Legends Arceus is the more like Sword and Shield looking kind of game. Now, personally, I wish Pokemon Legends just never existed and the Diamond and Pearl remakes were open world, main series, modern Sinnoh kind of Pokemon games, but with what we have, I think this is the best way of going about it, even from like having different dev studios. Junichi Masuda, I love what he did with Pokemon Let's Go, so I think this is a brilliant direction for the Diamond and Pearl remakes, and that just kind of makes me think like, yo, this is doable, especially again, you look at Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Pokemon Black and White, the original Diamond and Pearl games. That's when VGC started. It was called Video Game Showdown back in 2008, but that was done on Diamond and Pearl. So I don't think the art direction really affects what's going to happen with the future of VGC, but it just kind of feels weird to go from Pokemon Sword and Shield to this. But at the end of the day, it's the battles where you have like the full trainer models, and then you also have full Pokemon models doing these crazy battles. So I guess that can just kind of work. Now, the weird thing to me is how many parallels are being drawn between Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl and Pokemon Let's Go. That Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl seems like a halfway point between a remake and Let's Go, whereas Let's Go was kind of its own crazy thing, and I really think it was cool, and I hope we get future Let's Go's in the future, but as it stands right now, this is what we got. When you read this, these remakes include easy-to-understand, player-friendly conveniences of the modern Pokemon games, plus up-close and personal Pokemon battle scenes. Like the whole easy-to-understand thing, and then this feels like a pitch right out of Let's Go. Whether you played Diamond and Pearl back in the day, or you're encountering these games for the first time, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And we still don't know like the extent of how much the same Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl is going to be, how much they're going to like just tweak things, or how much it's going to be a new game. Is it enough of a new game to warrant being VGC 2022? Because Pokemon Let's Go apparently wasn't enough of a new game to justify VGC 2019. And then the implications of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl being VGC means no Megas, potentially? No Z-moves, of course, no Dynamax. Are we actually going to have just like a gimmick-free competitive format once again for the first time in like almost a decade? Now, I'm down with that. I think that'd be really cool. I think we need to go back to our roots to get more enjoyable Pokemon battles. Honestly, I loved Pokemon Let's Go battles. This is one of my favorite times I ever had playing competitive Pokemon. It blew Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon out of the water. I had a lot of fun with Pokemon Sword and Shield as well, but I mean, even no items, no abilities made Pokemon battles a lot more fun. So if we just kind of dial it back with Let's Go, or not Let's Go, with Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, there could be potential here that, yeah, we just get a solid competitive game regardless, and it's still viable for VGC 2022. Now, some people might think because Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are not developed by Game Freak that they can't be used for VGC. That's wrong, because if we go back to 2009, Pokemon Battle Revolution was the game of choice for the major 2009 events. Nationals and Worlds had this, and yeah, that was actually like pretty awesome, but Battle Revolution wasn't Game Freak, that was Genius Sonority. Boom. Also, it's worth noting that Pokemon Battle Revolution, obviously for the Wii, so we even had a console game being used to host VGC events back in 2009, just to kind of like keep that historical insanity going. That's what brings me back to release date for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Because the battles, we got to see it in the trailer, we got to see it in the Pokemon Presents. The battles, they look like standard Pokemon battles, and it's I'd imagine that training is in there. I'd imagine that it's effectively a similar, if not the same competitive, just done in a more open world setting for the story and the adventure of the game. But that means that you could use like you could use Pokemon Legends for PvP. I personally think this would be a complete disaster because I would imagine that the way that Pokemon Legends is being presented, we are primitive Pokemon trainers. We are not in this modern quality of life that has been improving competitive since, for the last couple of games. Pokemon Sword and Shield made competitive way more accessible. Same thing for Pokemon Sun and Moon. I think Pokemon X and Y was one of the biggest step-ups. That's when the most people got into competitive Pokemon. But with this, going out and catching Pokemon like this, it seems like it's going to be harder to get IVs or have these modern trainers that tweak IVs, like with hyper training or something. If they shoehorn it in there, it would feel really inorganic to the story that's being presented in Legends. So maybe like catch combos return. Catch combos return, I'm going to think more favorably of Legends Arceus because it was actually pretty easy to get competitive Pokemon for Pokemon Let's Go. The removal of IVs is also something that people want to see, just make it more balanced and have less impact on cheating. But if it takes any longer to get competitive Pokemon in Legends Arceus and Pokemon Sword and Shield, then hacking is going to run wild, and it's also going to make the game harder to stay afloat as a competitive game, and I don't see how Legends Arceus can make it easier than Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's just an impossibility. And you can't use the defense of, oh, it's just a beta, and it's still a year until the games come out, and we only have a minute and a half of footage. Now, look at the game. Look at how it's being set up. There's no way they're going to make it faster to get competitive Pokemon than Pokemon Sword and Shield because it's not built around competitive. Pokemon Sword and Shield was built around competitive all the way to the story and the gym battles. It's a completely different setup, and that's and even then, like Pokemon Let's Go, that was different. That did bring its own quality of life, but Legends, it just can't fit. It can't fit in a natural way. Which is why this release date is so weird. If this was Pokemon Battle Revolution 2 coming out January 28th, 2022, because we just need our big 3D crazy ambitious Pokemon game, I'd 100% put my money on the table right now and say this is VGC 2022. This is the future of competitive Pokemon into 2023, 2024, and maybe even longer than that, or however this gets updated to keep it accessible and to just have that dedicated competitive format to reduce the impact of cheating that completely ruined Pokemon Sword and Shield and the Players' Cups and all this stuff like that. So, yeah, now I'm looking at it like this. Now it's too early. Does that mean we get our stadium game mid next year, and then that open, we could also just change the format. I could see Pokemon Sword and Shield just adding an extra series or two, and then VGC 2022 officially beginning in May, and I think that's actually where COVID could play an advantage. Where they're like, yeah, because of COVID, we couldn't do it 2021. However, we can pick up. We have now moved on. We have conquered. We are ready for a roaring societal comeback. Pokemon VGC 2022 is gonna be happening. I could just see that as a big, ambitious thing, also for morale, just kind of keep people going and excited and happy and stuff. Even though I think the COVID adaptations for video games has been very strong, and I personally believe that there has not been any delay on the Pokemon and maybe even Nintendo side for game releases. January 28th. This is earlier than I would have expected had COVID never even existed. I'd still think April, May, or something like that, and that's still too early for the games. And then we're getting our yearly main series Pokemon game. So, again, when you look at everything, it's hard to say there was a delay. It's hard to say that there was any kind of major disruption because things just kind of carried on as planned from the Pokemon video game side. But, again, you can spin that and be like, yo, we can just wait that 6 months, use COVID as an excuse, Battle Revolution comes out, and then we just start transitioning from there into competitive. I think that's an interesting possibility that comes out of the Pokemon Legends release date, because now 2022 is going to be crazier than we expected. Pokemon Legends Arceus isn't even shaping up to be the big game of the year, and I think we'll find out more with E3. Also, Pokemon Unite's going to be getting released at some point between now and then, so things are kind of popping off. But yeah, the formatting leaves a lot of room for the future of competitive. Now, I personally have given up hope on something as awesome as Pokemon Battle Revolution 2, making it to where we have a standardized competitive format, mostly after the failings of Pokemon Sword and Shield and competitive and stuff. So I'm guessing, yeah, it looks like Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. It's going to make sense for VGC 2022. I'd like it if there's no megas. I'd like if we just have an honest, straightforward, feels like Gen 4 competitive format, just dial it back a bit with those modern touches and more modern understanding of the game, new moves, new abilities, and item updates, and also moveset updates. A lot of Pokemon have gotten a lot of tweaks, stats, etc. So I'd like to see how that expands, and I see no problem with Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl being the VGC format for 2022, and then who knows what happens from the future from there. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.